Hey everyone, welcome back to Clues by Sam. We have a tricky one ahead of us today, but I have to go out, so we're gonna have to try and do this in less than 30 minutes. If you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a logic puzzle where you have 20 people, each of them may give you a clue, and you gotta follow those clues to figure out who is a criminal and who is an innocent, and you cannot do any guessing. Let's get started. Helen is telling us that Joyce is one of Katie's 7 criminal neighbors. New names today. Joyce. Joyce is here, and we know that she is a criminal, and she's one of Katie's 7 criminal neighbors, which means that Katie only has one innocent neighbor. Now, Joyce is telling us that all criminals above Xavier are connected. So, what do we know? What do we know? Well, above Xavier, there are 2 people who neighbor Katie. Actually 3, but 2 people who neighbor Katie that we still don't know if they are criminals or innocents. But if there's any innocence among them, there can be only one because Katie only has one innocent neighbor. So there's 2 options. Either both of them are criminals, in which case all of them are connected, or only one of them is a criminal and it has to be Lucy so that she's connected to Helen, who is another criminal above Xavier. So we know that Lucy is a criminal, and Lucy is telling us there's an odd number of innocents neighboring Katie in row 4. Row 4 is here, and the possible odd numbers that will be neighboring Katie in row 4 will be 3 people or 1 people. We cannot have only one criminal person neighboring Katie in row 4 because that would mean there would be 2 innocent people neighboring her. And we cannot have that, so we know that all 3 here are criminals. Innocent! Why do I always read that wrong? Oh my god. Okay, there's an odd number of innocents neighboring Katie in row 4. So that tells us that Eric and Flora are criminal, because the innocent neighbor we know about is among these 3. Now, Eric's telling us that all criminals below Chris are connected. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that a little more. Flora's telling us that Zoe has more innocent than criminal neighbors. Okay. Tricky indeed. I'm gonna have to pause this because of my dog. And I don't know if you can pause the game. There's no option to pause. Okay, let's think about this. All criminals below Chris are connected. Okay. All criminals above Xavier are connected. Okay. Zoe has more innocent and criminal neighbors. So that tells us that Zoe has 2 innocent neighbors and 1 criminal one. Or maybe she has all neighbors criminal. Lucy is telling us there's an odd number of innocents neighboring Katie in row 4. What's telling us who that is? because I'm gonna start tagging just to see what comes up. Let's say that Ronald is the innocent, then we know that Xavier is the innocent. Is an innocent as well because all criminals below Chris are connected. If Ronald is a criminal, then Terry has to be an innocent. And Xavier as well, which could happen. But in order for Zoe to have more innocent neighbors than criminal ones. Hey, but and we know nothing about Nancy and Peter. And we don't know about Chris either because Chris may or may not be a criminal. If he's a criminal, he's connected to all the other criminals above Xavier, and if he's an innocent, he's not breaking any set of criminals above Xavier. So it doesn't matter. All criminals below Chris are connected. Yeah, we did our logic for that. There's an odd number of innocents neighboring Katie in row 4. That we know is the one innocent that Katie has as a neighbor. There's no reason for any of these people. Let's think about this the other way around. Let's clear the tags and let's think about Xavier. If Xavier is a criminal, then Ronald has to be a criminal too because all criminals below Chris are connected, and then there's no way for Zoe to have more innocent neighbors than criminals, so Xavier has to be an innocent. Now Xavier is telling us that only one of the 3 innocents neighboring Peter is in row 4. Which tells us that Peter is not the innocent in row 4. That's neighboring Katie. So he's a criminal. But it also tells us that there's 3 innocent people neighboring Peter, and he has 8 neighbors. One of the innocents is Xavier. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more people to figure out, but we know there's a criminal and an innocent here, so among these 3, there's another innocent. Now Peter's telling us that Maria has only 1 innocent neighbor. If that neighbor is Ronald, If the neighbor is Ronald, then we know that both Terry and Isaac are criminals. If the neighbor isn't Ronald, then we know that Terry is an innocent. So the innocent has to be either Ronald or Terry, so Isaac is a criminal. Now Isaac's telling us Chris and Peter have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Chris here and Peter. Peter has 3 innocent neighbors and 5 criminal ones. So all of Chris's neighbors are criminal. Don't need this clue anymore, finally. All of the other ones I think I need. Now, Brian's telling us that all criminals in column A are connected. Okay, we still don't know if Nancy is a criminal or not, so we can know about Vance. But Diane's telling us that an odd number of innocents below Alice's neighbor Peter. So one of these 2 is an innocent and the other one is a criminal. And all criminals in column A are connected, so it has to be Nancy. And Vince has to be an innocent. And then Ronald is an innocent and Terry is a criminal. Okay. Maria is one of 11 criminals on the edges. Maria is a criminal, and how many criminals do we have on the edges already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have one more innocent to find on the edges. Flora has only one innocent neighbor. Where's Flora? Okay. Maria has only one innocent neighbor. We figured that out. Peter has 3 innocent neighbors, and all of them are here, so we know that both Will and Katie are criminals. And we don't need this anymore. Now, we don't need Zoe's clue. We don't need Katie's clue anymore. Laura has only one innocent neighbor, so either of these 2 are innocents, but that tells us that Zoe is a criminal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where did I start? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Column C has more innocents than any other column. Yeah, a lot of criminals today. So column C is here. It has more innocents than any other column. If Alice were to be an innocent, then both column A and C will have the same number. So Chris has to be an innocent, and Alice is our final criminal. Okay. A minor hiccup there. I don't understand how I always change the only single term that matters. But we solved the puzzle nonetheless, and it was in less than 15 minutes. So that was nice. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with more clues by Sam, and I hope to see you then. Bye!